Hello. It has been a very, very long day. Do you get any monetization from you? That should be screw YouTube for K-FUX. You mean when they send you some sort of residual royalties, dividends based on how many people watch what you submit? I'm familiar with that dynamic, but no, we don't receive anything like that. That's not really the point behind any of this. Besides, how would they send something like that to me anyway? And more to the point, as I previously told you, they've been stymieing and stifling the dissemination of all of these broadcasts lately. They've been jamming the signal. So even if we receive monetization, we wouldn't be. But anyway, to answer your question, no. We're not doing this for the money. We're not getting paid for this. We don't profit by any of this. Not fiscally, anyway. There are other advantages, of course. Yeah, there is that. Have you ever had insomnia? For what amounts to decades, yes, I did have insomnia, all the way up until that point in time at which the really rather rudimentary, very simple cure for insomnia finally, at long last, caught up with me in the form of intensive, sleep-deprived, desperate, wrecked exhaustion. This sort of exhaustion which compels you to lie down in your bed and then just drop down dead for the night. Yeah. That's the cure for insomnia. Pure, unalloyed exhaustion. You may take it from me. What was an embarrassing moment for you? You mean one of those little whoopsie sort of intervals that happens to all of us from time to time? Well, listen to that crew change out there, huh? That tells you how late it's getting. I told you it's been a long day. Jeez. There was this one time, I was doing a keg stand and my Luger fell out in front of everybody at the party. Yeah. Of course, that was more embarrassing for all of them because it scared the hell out of them. But yeah, I guess there was that. What is your impression of Chuck Norris? The martial arts, kung fu, karate. Oh, he passed away recently. That's right. Well, to be honest with you, I never really watched any of his pictures, and I never really tuned into, what do we call it, Walker, Texas Ranger on television. Oh, hold on a moment. Whenever anyone mentions Chuck Norris, I always think of this one specific point. You think of him, like I say, the karate, kung fu, martial arts and all that, but did you know, and I'll wager that you didn't, he was also in this obscure, forgotten little horror movie. He was in a thriller movie, Silent Rage. It's all about this serial killer that gets killed himself and is then brought back to life by a scientist who's researching cryogenics and injects him with a reanimating serum, after which the serial killer is brought back to life, but can't die anymore. You can't kill him. And he goes on another rampage killing spree. And he's the sheriff, and he's got to go and stop him. Yeah. I know that sounds very silly and shallow, but the thing of it is, when you have an actor or an actress, you have a performer who you generally consign to a specific genre, and then all of a sudden you see him someplace different, someplace completely removed. This whole departure, I've always been fascinated by that. I've always loved that. The stand-up comic, Martin Lawrence, you generally associate him with the comedy, I would imagine. But just recently, I saw him in a crime drama suspense thriller wherein he played a police detective. And he wasn't in there for comic relief. It was nothing like that. He played it straight and serious. And he was fantastic. Another example would be, what's that kid, that big mouth kid that, the one that Will Smith, he didn't slap, punched him, he punched him, that was a punch. You watch the footage for yourself, that was no slap. What's that loudmouth, Kid Rock, that's someone that Will Smith ought to be belting. The kid, Chris Rock, he was in one of those Saw movies, the gruesome horror Jigsaw series. He was in one of those, and he played a police detective too. And he had a few funny moments, but for the most part, he played it serious and somber and really intense. He was amazing. I love it when you see that kind of departure. You got somebody that generally you see in romantic comedies, and suddenly you see him in a Western. Or you got somebody who you generally see in crime dramas, and all of a sudden you see him in science fiction. Something like that. It allows the performer to explore their own range and their breadth and depth. It gives them some scope. Which is why someone like Charles Bronson, Chuck Connors, Chuck Norris, yeah, even someone like that, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I love it when they do that. Maybe that's just me. Love that crew change. I wonder who's hopping out tonight.